The long-awaited Warcraft movie seems to be one step closer to becoming a reality. Paramount, led by the son of billionaire Larry Ellison, has already acquired the film rights to Call of Duty from Activision, and rumors say Warcraft might be next on their list. What kind of movie will it be? A direct continuation of the 2016 film, a soft reboot, or a completely fresh story? Nobody knows for sure. But this is the perfect moment to revisit one of the most colorful and beloved fantasy universes ever created. To make it easier for viewers, let's walk through the essential events of Warcraft lore. If you've never played the games, you'll get a clear picture of this world. And if you're a veteran, you'll have a chance to refresh your memory and maybe recall details long forgotten. Like many great myths, the story of Warcraft begins with the creation of the universe. And just like in our own world, nobody truly knows how it all began. There are only theories. The most common one says that everything started with a kind of cosmic explosion, similar to the Big Bang, but not purely physical. It was the clash of two primal forces, light and shadow. In Warcraft mythology, shadow is often called the Void. When light and void collided, the endless universe was born, known as the Great Dark. Along with it came the first beings, ancient and immensely powerful. Different sources describe them differently, but most agree. They were the Titans, the chaotic elementals, the mysterious Naru, the demons, and the terrifying old gods. Yet every race has its own version. The Twilight's Hammer cult believes the old gods came first. Night elves worship Elune as their creator. Tauren speak of Mother Earth, while human clerics refer to a singular divine entity. But one point is shared across all myths. The eternal conflict between light and void shaped everything that followed. On the side of the light stood the Titans. Their leader, Aman'Thul, searched across the stars for newborn Titans slumbering inside planets. When he found them, he awakened them and welcomed them into his pantheon. Together, they shaped worlds, gave birth to life, and experimented with creation itself. Opposing them were the demons and the old gods, who wanted only to feed on worlds, corrupt civilizations, and spread darkness. Here's an interesting fact. The idea that Titans are born within the cores of planets was later borrowed almost directly by Marvel Studios for their movie Eternals. In the original comics, the Celestials had a very different origin, but the film's lore mirrors Warcraft almost exactly. But no cosmic story is complete without betrayal. Sargeras, one of the mightiest Titans and the younger brother of Aman'Thul, was once the greatest champion of the light. For ages he battled demons, even building a massive prison to contain them. But over time, despair consumed him. Facing endless demonic hordes, he concluded that true victory was impossible. His solution was horrifying. The only way to stop the void was to destroy all creation. Thus, the Burning Legion was born, an unstoppable army of chaos and fire. Sargeras struck down nearly all of the Titans. Their bodies perished, but their souls endured, watching from afar. The great war between light and void continued, and in this vast cosmic conflict, Azeroth became the most important battleground, because deep within the planet lay the soul of an unborn Titan, said to be the most powerful of all. Sargeras sought Azeroth to either enslave or destroy it. But the old gods had their own designs. They wanted to corrupt the Titan's soul so that, when it finally awakened, it would belong to the void. That made Azeroth the central stage of this eternal struggle. Now let's turn to the planet itself. In its early days, Azeroth was ruled by the old gods and their servants, the elemental lords. When the Titans intervened, they imprisoned the elementals and chained the old gods deep beneath the earth. Yet their corruption lingered. The Titans created guardians, beings of stone and metal, to watch over Azeroth. But the old gods cursed them with the curse of flesh, slowly transforming them into the mortal races we know today. Humans, dwarves, and gnomes. Alongside them lived older natural races, the elementals, proto-dragons, and trolls. Trolls in fact built the first true civilization of Azeroth. From the trolls eventually came the night elves, when a tribe settled near the Well of Eternity, a magical source of near-infinite power tied to the Titan within Azeroth. The well granted them long lives and immense magical abilities, but magic would soon lead to disaster. Their queen, Azshara, corrupted by ambition, opened a portal for Sargeras. This sparked the War of the Ancients. Heroes like Malfurion Stormrage, his brother Illidan, and priestess Tyrande led the defense. They were aided by dragons, Tauren, and other allies. The portal was sealed, but the cost was catastrophic. The Sundering, which shattered the single continent of Kalimdor into the lands we know today. Illidan, however, made a fateful choice. In an effort to preserve magic, he created a second Well of Eternity. For this, he was imprisoned for 10,000 years. His tale, of course, would not end there. Millennia later, a new threat emerged. The Orcs of Draenor. Their homeworld had been corrupted by demons, and under warlocks like Guladan, they opened the Dark Portal, invading Azeroth. Thus began the First War. Stormwind fell, but in the Second War, the Alliance pushed back, ultimately destroying the portal. The Third War brought even greater tragedy. At its heart was Prince Arthas Menethil of Lordaeron. Once a noble paladin, in his desperation to save his people, he took up the cursed blade Frostmourne. The sword stole his soul and made him a Death Knight. Arthas betrayed his kingdom, murdered his father, and became a servant of the Lich King. Eventually, he merged with the Lich King himself, becoming one of the darkest figures in Warcraft's history. At the same time, Illidan was freed and tried to wield demonic power against its masters, setting him on a path as both outcast and anti-hero. His story intertwined with Arthas's and continued into the age of World of Warcraft. From there, the saga unfolded in expansions known to millions of players: the Cataclysm and the Rise of Deathwing, renewed invasions of the Burning Legion, the expedition into Outland and Northrend, the mysteries of Pandaria, and the eternal threat of the old gods. But through it all, one theme remained constant: the looming destiny of Azeroth's sleeping titan. Today, the lore of World of Warcraft is approaching its climax. Sargeras has been defeated, but the void still whispers. Will Azeroth's titan awaken pure and filled with light, or will corruption twist it into a god of darkness? Step by step, this is how Warcraft grew into one of the richest and most iconic fantasy universes ever created. And this is why the prospect of another film excites so many fans. What story will the movie tell? We can only guess. But one thing is certain: Blizzard's universe offers enough epic material for a dozen blockbusters.